Hello, and welcome to myfinancesteacher.org. Let's have a look at Bitcoin in this video, and looking at this 2-month cycle in Bitcoin. We are now on day 33, so we are just about stepping into the second half of this cycle, which means the chances of a significant break up are not that great. Now, looking at the daily cycle and zooming in a little bit, it looks like there is some kind of a coil formation when the price movement becomes gradually tighter and tighter, and the volatility has virtually disappeared. So usually these coil formations don't last long, and they usually lead to relatively high volatility. As I mentioned in many of my previous videos, generally on the markets we see that periods of high volatility are replaced with periods of very low volatility, as we've had for the last several days. And whether the volatility will come to the downside or to the upside from here is hard to say, but in my opinion, there is a chance that Bitcoin is going to continue sliding downwards for another few weeks down into the end of this cycle. And as I mentioned, these cycles usually last for about a couple of months. So I've been playing this game trying to catch a break above this 50-day moving average, but I think although knocking on the resistance several times reduces the strength of that resistance, increasing the chance of breaking up from that 50-day moving average, but even if the price closes slightly above that 50-day moving average, the average itself is sliding down, so we might not really see much appreciation in Bitcoin price itself. Now I want to switch to the 4-hour chart, because it looks like there is a downtrending channel forming on this 4-hour chart. And I'm going to change this 200 period moving average into 300 period moving average, because on a 4-hour chart, this 300 period moving average is similar to a 50-day moving average. So as you see, we've been knocking on this 50-day moving average a few times. And as I noted to my subscribers on myfinancesteacher.org, so join me if you want to have these timely updates. Yesterday, when the price was at 68.60, we tried a long trade expecting Bitcoin to move up towards the top of this downtrending channel, possibly somewhere around $7,000. However, I also mentioned that the risks were very high, and it was possibly not really advisable to follow me on this trade. Since then, as you see, Bitcoin did turn down a little bit, and the top over the last few hours was actually below the upper range of this downward trending channel, and it didn't actually hit my take profit order, just over $7,000. So with a trailing stop loss, we exited this position at about 68.80 with a tiny profit, very close to breaking even. So the fact that Bitcoin is now in this downtrending channel, at least on the 4-hour chart, the fact that Bitcoin didn't manage to give us another knock on this 50-day moving average, at least not yet, makes me think that we are likely going to decline into this 2-month cycle low. After all, the trend is your trend until it's broken. Of course, if we see some crazy bullish news and the price is breaking out above the 50-day moving average, I might try another long trade with a tight stop loss just below that 50-day moving average. But I'm not looking at the charts all the time, so if I don't catch such an event on the charts, it doesn't really matter. I will look for more attractive setups. And what I mean by that is a more oversold look on the daily chart of Bitcoin. So to summarize, I'm now turning bearish over the next several weeks into the cycle low. However, I don't go short on Bitcoin, and I'm never out of Bitcoin completely. As I mentioned in my previous videos, I hodl or hold long-term over 90% of my Bitcoin holdings, and try a little bit with the play money of less than 10% of my holdings. So for more regular and timely updates on different kinds of assets, join us at myfinancesteacher.org. The material I post publicly on YouTube is not as frequent, and it's sometimes delayed compared to the stuff going on at myfinancesteacher.org. So that's my outlook for Bitcoin. Let me know what you guys think. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and good luck in your trades.